सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
A very good evening to everyone. A very happy Women's Day to all the women watching and all the women who are here with us who are going to contribute greatly to this initiative. Before we actually invite the eminent speakers today out here, I would like to give all of you a quick perspective on what Womenopause actually is. We believe that true power isn't about halting, but it is about evolving. At True Wealth, we are rewriting the menarche to menopause narrative to womenopause, which is about rejecting the idea of a pause in women's incredible life journey and empowering women to embrace the dynamic stages of biological changes in lives with continued strength and vitality for limitless progress. The Womenopause vision is to create a living, breathing support ecosystem that walks with every woman through her dynamic physiological, emotional, and spiritual transitions. From menarche to menopause and far beyond, this platform aims to uplift, educate, and empower. Establish an inclusive multidisciplinary platform that supports clinical, nutritional, emotional, psychosocial well-being across the full arc of womanhood, from PCOS and puberty to fertility planning and pregnancy to perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause and healthy aging. It's a proud privilege, and I would request all the faculties to have their videos on. It's a proud privilege to have Dr. Rekha Bhatkande Madam with us. She's a highly respected gastroenterologist with more than 4 decades of clinical experience in digestive disorders and internal medicine. She's served as the Dean of Yashoda Hospital and has been actively involved in healthcare administration and community health initiatives. And then we have Dr. Alka Manke Madam. She's honorary head of anesthesia, Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital. She has actually been part of building one of the largest hospitals in our country, a great concept in itself. She was shoulder to shoulder with Dr. Neetu Manke. So we have very high regards for her, and we're very happy she's been able to join us today. So both Dr. Bhatkande Madam and Manke Madam both have been contributing significantly to also public health awareness and patient care. A warm welcome to both of them. Then I have the next two very good friends, Dr. Mrudula Bhave and Dr. Manjiri Ranade. Dr. Mrudula Bhave is an ophthalmologist She's a fitness enthusiast and also an entrepreneur. Um, Being a senior eye surgeon, she also juggles her entrepreneurial venture, which is CalPal. And it's very interesting where she gives calorie counted meals, healthy meals to people like us. And we're lucky that to have her around us. We also have Dr. Manjiri Ranade. She is an anesthetist, but very much specializes in pain management. And pain management is something she's very passionate about, and is she's director of Palash Pain Clinics. Um, then we have Dr. Prasanna Menon. Again, dual roles. All of them are dual roles. She is an obstetrician and a palliative care specialist, a passionate geriatrician and palliative care physician who has also founded her own venture, and which is really helping a lot of people in Thane and Mumbai regions. That is Dr. Menon's palliative care, and we would love to hear more from her about it. Then my partner in majorly the Womenopause initiative, she's really has been shoulder to shoulder with me. That is Dr. Neha Sohni. She's also a gynecologist with more than 10 years of experience at Kaushalya Hospital and Bhanushali Hospital in Thane, Mumbai region. She specializes in high-risk pregnancies and minimally invasive gynecological surgeries and a lot more. Um, then we have Dr. Maithili Gadgir. She is also a gynecologist, consultant at Jupiter Hospital, expertise in pregnancy care, fertility counseling, high-risk pregnancy management, and more. So we're going to get to learn a lot more. And last but not the least, we have Dr. Rujita Afre, who is the youngest here, and one of the charming ones here, I would say. She's a breast oncoplastic and endocrine surgeon. She specializes in breast cancer surgeries, practicing in Mumbai and Thane, and is known for combining cancer surgery with reconstructive oncoplastic techniques. So it's my proud privilege to have such a high energy panel out here with us today. And I would want to jump into a few questions and would want to start with Dr. Bhatkande, madam. It's not really going to be a lot of questions, but a lot of expression from us today. So, mainly I would start with asking you, ma'am, you've been a pioneer in gastroenterology. At the same time, you've juggled ICUs, and, medical management has been something you've done for years. I mean, 4 or 5 decades you've been into it, and you've been ex-dean of Sushruta Hospital. I mean, you're still very active in managing the hospital and mentoring. You've mentored so many doctors. So, what does an initiative like Menopause really personally mean to you, and how do you continue to, professionally and socially, you keep doing so much today, even today. Looking at you, I feel like doing so much more. So, if you could share with us, how you kept up through all these 4 or 5 decades of your journey.
Thank you, Rajeshri, and I think this is a wonderful platform, and you're doing a great job, uh, bringing in awareness. Um, so you want to know my professional journey? How did I actually become a gastroenterologist? So professionally, Rajeshri, my journey as a gastroenterologist, it actually started in my house physician days because I worked in a premier gastroenterology ward in JJ Hospital. And the consultants, teachers, they were extraordinary. I mean, I don't think anybody who worked with them has done anything other than gastroenterology. Okay. And so after I did my MD in general medicine, they actually encouraged me to start, I would say, practicing pure gastroenterology. Because in those days, DM and DNB gastroenterology was not there in Mumbai. And there was no way I could have gone to Vellore or to Chandigarh, you see. And so I actually went to Mumbai University and said, can I do a PhD in gastrology? Something, something to say that I am a gastroenterologist. And that time there was only one PhD teacher, and that was the A.G. Desai. But he had never done it in gastroenterology, he had done it in research. So, in the meantime, the registrar of the university told me, Madam, wait, because a new rule is coming in. So I said, okay. And they allowed me to practice. And then in 1985, they said that anyone who is practicing gastroenterology before 1985 without a specific qualification in gastroenterology may continue to do so. And that's how it all started. Now, I truly believe that if you want to master your craft, you have to slog. I'm sure that's what the cricketers are doing at the current moment. I know we're not watching that, but yeah. So, Dr. Sharad Shah, one of my mentors, he got me to Sholapur every month, one day every month. And I was so lucky that the surgeon there, he used to collect 40 to 50 pure gastroenterology cases in from Sholapur and the surrounding areas, districts, villages. So I learned in the first 2 years of my practice how to deal with both rural and urban gastroenterology. And I think it was a absolutely very impactful experience that was. So yeah, and then of course did my gastroenterology and uh, literally saw the introduction of endoscopes from rigid scopes to semi-rigid to flexible to video scopes. I mean, it's a long journey, but it's a beautiful journey, and I loved it. And how do you impact people? I think if you are very dedicated or you're very honest in what you're doing, you can teach anybody. Rajeshi, I used to have two sweepers to help me when I was doing endoscopy in the beginning, okay, at Shushusha. And I actually taught them to the extent that they could help me take biopsies. Imagine, I mean, you can do it, and they were sweepers. They were not technicians, ward boys, or anything like that. So I think professionally one can do a lot of stuff without having, it's up to you. You use the tool, you use the personnel, and you can do it. Now, my administrative work, management work, I became the dean of Shushusha in better times, I would say. That is 2009 to 2014. And wonderful. I mean, it was really, I learned what a hospital is. It took me, I think, 8 months to know about the working of every person in the hospital. I knew if I was to ask somebody how long it would take them to actually do what I asked them to do. So I never got stressed out. I knew if I asked my accountant, she's going to take 21 days. Okay. I used to tell her 21 days prior to whatever emergency would have come up. Okay. So I think that's, you know, all your staff. My, I always say one thing about administration. You want to be a good leader, you have to have two qualities. One is learn to listen. Just listen to people. Uh, Even if you cannot solve their problems, they will always say, she listened to us. She heard us out. Okay? And the second great quality of a leader is take responsibility. I had 470 union staff with me at Shishisha Hospital, and the rest were non-union, so about 500 employees. And they used to do whatever I told them to do because they knew that if something should go wrong, I would take the responsibility. So listen and take responsibility, and you will do. You'll be a leader. Okay. So I think that's what administration, gastroenterology, uh, I always say that whatever you do, I tell people when the whole body image thing comes in, that be comfortable in your own skin. Same way, I tell people in profession, be comfortable and satisfied in what you're doing, and then you'll always be doing the right thing. Okay, Rajesh,
That is so
thank you.
amazing. And you're my mentor, and you're not just a mentor, you're so many things to me. And having you here to encourage so many who are here and to exchange your insights is absolutely always my privilege. But looking at it, the senior most, and I would want to go jump in and go to the junior most. You spoke about endoscopes, and you saw endoscopes coming in one by one. And then on the other hand, we have someone who's a breast oncoplastic surgeon, and she is doing surgeries endoscopically, and with minimal
True,
invasive stuff, and she's the youngest. So Dr. Rujuta, I know
wonderful,
I'm hinting at
great.
you. So Dr. Rujuta, you have to also, as a young woman surgeon, tell us what does an initiative like this? I mean, does something like a Womenopause resonate with you? And how do you think you're going to, sort of continue to pursue your ambition, through all these stages and not pauses, of course, no close to where you are, but how do you envision this?
Thank you so much for having me here. So the generation from where Madam has struggled and come up as a gastroenterologist, I think we have much easier life because, of course, we go through many phases of life like education, career building, and then comes family responsibilities, and then you have to like there's some kind of pressure of motherhood, but inside us there is some kind of something pulling us for that kind of career growth, personal growth. No, I don't want to ignore this part of me. So I think in our generation, it's a little bit easier because our mothers are encouraging us to go ahead and learn. To yes, marriage is a part of life. Yes, everything that happens side by side, and we will help you out. ठीक है, बच्चे करो, हम संभाल लेंगे. You know that those things, basic things that we have to fight less. And of course, it demands like a profession like a surgeon. It demands a lot of long hours, and then constantly we have to keep learning. It's not like हमने सीख लिया अभी apply करना है. Every time we learn, we get a degree, something new comes up. There was laparoscopy that came up. Now there's robotics that comes up. So something else, AI is coming up. So we have to keep learning, and most times our mind is constantly engaged even when we are back home. It's not a 9 to 5, it's not even 9 to 9, it's 24/7 and all days of the week, of the year. So somewhere I feel that if we are able to compartmentalize, if I'm spending time with my family, so I have to, somewhere I have to compartmentalize, and that time I have to shut down my other things. So we have to learn this throughout our life. And of course, choosing roles where, when I'm in a mother's role, when I'm in a role of a leader, when I'm in a role of a partner, so I have to change that role. And I know that, sometimes hormones are mixing up. Like we are in different phase of the cycle, and sometimes the actual what do you say, menses cycle will go through your life, like when there's a very low and there's a very high. And menopause also takes a lot of stress, and yet we fight this, we fight all of it कि कल सर्जरी है तो ये सब हार्मोन साइड में रखना है मुझे, and I have to give my best. Because मेरे से, for me, it's every day I have a surgery, but for that patient it's only once. एक ही लाइफ है उनके पास, and only one surgery. So I have to keep all that aside, and without feeling guilty, I have to prioritize whatever it takes. So
So it's very encouraging to hear this from you. And more than us, we could be a little older than you, etc. But for the younger generation, the what you're telling them is really going to resonate, and that's what actually is very much essential today. The fact that you're informed, the fact that you have support from the Gen X, Y, whatever you say, is actually nicer. But I can only imagine how difficult it was for Dr. Bhatkande madam to start off when there was nothing to compare or to look at and take up something. But through this era, we have had Dr. Alka Manke madam, and while she played a critical role of being an anesthetist in various different types of surgeries. And we've always heard that she was such a massive support for Dr. Neetu Manke, and not only while he dreamt about this big hospital in Mumbai, but also through all the surgeries. So it was such a teamwork. And while we saw the front end. I know how much at the back end ma'am has really worked on. So madam, it's such a pleasure to have you, and we know how much dynamic you are, even today. Not just dynamic, meticulous in doing so many things. Of course, your medical practice, but with that, so many social initiatives that you're part of. So having support of a doctor like you, and the fact that you're even come here is so much of energy for an initiative like this. So, ma'am, I would like to first of all thank you, and then I would also want you to share your thoughts. If an initiative like Womenopause is needed in today's times, was needed in your times, and how I mean, what can you share about the sheer resilience that you have had through all your journey? Because your journey has been great, good, very difficult. It's been a mixture of all extremities, I would say. And the way you've managed through it, and you have two beautiful daughters again, so who are also such great doctors. So whatever you can share with us and inspire us with.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me here and having patience because I have been traveling whole day and I have just entered home. But very, very, very happy that I could make it in time. It was so nice to listen to Tuja and Bhatkhande madam. Like two extremes, the challenges they are facing and that they are doing both very energetically and very intelligently. I think woman at work has all the challenges that you can think of, as Rituja said, from home and at work, and a lot of expectations from everybody, all angles. But at the same time, it gives a lot of pressure to be ultimately show your tenacity and survive in spite of all the challenges. And then you feel that without challenges, there is no fun in doing everything. And then you feel so nice. And actually, at age of 76, I feel now I'm just starting or getting more and more involved with social work. I have forgotten almost that I was a good cardiac anesthetist trying to extubate the patients with most complicated CABG immediately after the surgery. That was my passion when I worked with Dr. Manke. It was a challenge working with Dr. Manke, my husband, and I was quite successful in doing that. I'm happy about it. But after COVID, my daughters told me not to work, and I took it very positively and totally engrossed in social work related with Keshav Srishti, most social organizations, and we are associated with, and it is a lot of pleasure doing this as well. I don't know exactly what you expected me to say, but thank you very much for listening to my thoughts.
Well, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire
Yeah,
questions later. So,
yes,
I think we will be
yeah,
able to get more out of you out of
yes,
those. But
yes,
initially, we just want to sort of know your
sure,
inputs. Now, I
yes,
will actually come to someone who's, like I said, partner in, like we say, partner in crime. She's been partner in all that I have been doing. I hope we have Dr. Neha here. If she's going to be able to switch her video on. Um, Yes. Hi, Dr. Neha. I mean, I
Hello,
think
hi.
this is something which you and I have sort of taken the baton forward. And so, having you is also, I mean, it's always happiness for me. So,
Same here.
to you, I mean, if you, of course, I don't have to really ask you a question, but, whatever you want to say about yourself and, something about Womenopause that we have been, already taking forward.
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity for making me part of today's program. Um, we already are doing many programs on Womenopause, and we have already started, collaborating at KMF regarding the same. So besides the journey, mainly what I want to say is for Womenopause, it's very important for all patients to understand, sometimes when the patients come, that menopause is a very normal physiological process. They have to understand that menopause is not a disease. There is nothing wrong about menopause. म्हणजे I tell my patient, जशी पाळी येते तशी पाळी जाते. So it is a very, very physiological process. Yes, certain changes do happen, like at the time when you're getting your periods, and at the same time when your periods stop. Certain physiological changes will happen, but I think the most important part a woman has is her resilience, or her adaptability. The way she adapts to each and every stage in her life, with so much strength and grace. So a woman is very much capable of adapting at all points in life, be it menarche time, during the reproductive time, and at the same way during menopause. She has that resilience. She is already empowered. She just has to figure it out. So it is very important at that time to counsel the woman, first of all, that, be calm, be cool. This is just a part of the whole process. It is very, very normal. But at the same time, it's very important for them to take care of their own health, at this point, because they are already burdened with so many things at home. And there comes a point in the time when she tends to put her own health last. She has to remember that her own health is very important. As the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's very important that she keeps her cup full. It's very important that she takes care of her own health, so that later on she can take care of the entire family, because a happy and a healthy woman is a healthy household. So it's important to counsel her that you need to take care of your own health. You need to, take care of your diet, exercise, sleep patterns. You need to come regularly for some routine checkups, visit your gynec, visit your doctor. Make sure, you're undertaking your routine checkups so as to, avoid any further complications or any diseases. That's about it. It's more of counseling and less of actually, checking them or, prescribing medicines. It's just more of counseling that.
Essentially, we've started this initiative, but
Yes.
we can only go on and on with it, right? I mean, there is no real end to it. So, I think I'm looking forward to doing much, much more with you. But on that note, I'm actually we have one more gynecologist with her, and I think um, we three work in the same institutions, and we know each other's work so much. So I think Dr. Maithili is here, Dr. Maithili Gadgil. I think you. I know we have spoken on so many times about lifestyle management and how much women, need to have more simpler, easier lives instead of, keeping it complicated. So, something like this, again, does a initiative like Womenopause sort of resonate with you personally, as well as when it comes to your patients? So, how do you look at it, and what could you share from your own personal journey, that where you had situations where you thought you would have to pause, but you kept progressing?
Uh,
Could we
Firstly,
spotlight? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Firstly, Rajeshri, thanks for having me. And I send my regards to all the senior delegates here. So,
Just a
to
second. I
answer
think,
your,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
am
Okay.
I audible, Rajeshri?
Yes, yes, you are. You are. You
Yeah.
are. Wait.
So, when you say womenopause, we talk about screening and or probably making things available. But two things which I absolutely think and stand by is nowadays 90% of the women are working. Okay, so if I were to say two words, is it would be tolerance and non-judgment. So many times these women are spending like 10, 12 hours out of the house. You can't expect them to go home and take care of children and cooking and everything. So when we talk about hormonal changes, they will be better when she's more supported, and we are seeing this shift nowadays in the clinics also. So many times sons or husbands get their wives, they don't come straight ahead. So we are seeing a very very positive change. At least I am very proud to say this. So many times a son has come to me, can I get my mom to you? And I feel wonderful. So awareness is increasing. About digitalization, we are seeing it at all levels. So more and more women are aware. We just need to sensitize. One of my relatives had told me this, कि just as there is a big taboo, if I were to ask my mother, go and screen yourself, she would first say, मला काही होत नाही, खरंच गरज आहे का? And this still stays. So I have started gifting health checks to her on her birthday. So,
Wow.
and this clicked with me, and now I think every woman in my family gets a health check from me, and it worked. So, what sounded like a scare, a little inhibition of not going ahead, now has become a yearly routine. Myself, we go, most of my school friends, we tag along for our health checks, and now it has been a day that we look forward to rather than avoiding the health checks. So I would urge everybody, and I do that. I tell everybody that firstly, we all have to screen ourselves. Secondly, as we talk about supporting each other in our endeavors, we should even club for fitness activities as well. We are healthcare providers. We have to take care of healthcare at our levels first before providing it to our patients. And when they see us struggling, I tell to my patient, look, I also feel very difficult getting out of the bed. I'm going through the same process that you are going, and still you have to back yourself up. And you know, day by day, it will work. So following a discipline, supporting each other, we have to support, and it starts with us supporting our female in our health workplaces. So I have three females who work in my clinic. So I insist that they take care of their health care. They go and at least exercise twice a day, and that should be it. We can change at only our level. Society, I don't know, but the change has to happen at our level, and it just starts reflecting and going ahead. That's all I would say.
That's some interesting ideas you've given me. So, I think I'm sure we will try to implement them in the coming months, and I will talk to you about it, of course, in detail. I will move on to Dr. Mrudula Bhave and Dr. Manjiri Ranade, and I know why I'm taking both their names together. And if you could spotlight both of them together, it would be great. I mean, one is an ophthalmologist and an entrepreneur. The other has been an anesthetist, but now actively helping women take care of their pain, because I think that pain is something which bothers all of us so much. So I think it's such a pleasure to see both of you here, and just being in the same frame just feels happy. So, I think that is another aspect of Womenopause, I would say. Just coming together itself, can help us do so much more. But having said that, you both have had your journeys, and I think, Dr. Mrudula, you have, you're juggling both being a doctor, challenges of life, personal things, and doing fitness at the same time, and running something passionately, which we know as CalPal. How do you sort of why did you think of building this, and juggling it with your clinical practice, and how have you dealt with all the challenges in your through your journey, and not hitting a pause button, um, as much as know you was one would actually stop at times, but you actually had the grit to even go further beyond. So do share some of it with us.
Thank you, Rajeshri. The wonderful platform. And at the outset, happy Women's Day to everyone out here. So, I strongly believe that medicine is not a destination. It's a lifelong upgrade, and we learn new things. There is research going on. There are new skills to be learned. There is new technology coming in, and we keep doing that until a certain point of life, in a certain time in practice, when we start feeling that we are now respected amongst our peers. We have come to that level that, we are comfortable in our own practice. And I think comfort at that point of time, it's a very highly persuasive thing. So that is the point of time when you start feeling in subtle ways a bit stagnated. And that is where I feel that it's time that we need to, get out of that comfort zone and do things which we have never tried or never have gotten opportunity or never have got the time to do that. So there are a lot of things which we have said, I'll do this after my son passes his 12th standard, or I'll do this maybe in the next summer vacation, but somehow that time just doesn't come. So, being a trekker, I believed the role of nutrition as much as exercise in your endurance, in your in all through the phases of whatever activities that I've been doing, be it scuba diving or be it trekking. So, and that's how I decided that yes, we need to be getting into this field, and that's how CalPal was developed. And today we are catering on different verticals. We have diabetic, we have hypertensive, we have renal verticals, we have anemia, and patients who are undergoing chemotherapy as different verticals to whom we are supplying. And all in all, it has been good, great going so far.
So, then, being friends and being together, I'm going to ask both of you that question if that also helps. But, Dr. Manjari, I know you've passionately taken up pain management, and a space again where, which we've always seen, we go to orthopedic surgeon when we have a pain. Then, but this has been something new which you had to create. Do and on the other side, of course, you have your you still practice as an anesthetist and juggle your personal challenges, and so do tell us, because again, and being an anesthetist has been is to be in emergency. You have to deal with all the emergencies that are around as well. So how do you juggle all this, and do you think sharing these kind of experiences and more sort of can take initiative like Womenopause forward? I mean, does that make a lot of sense for you? I think, can we spotlight Dr. Anade, please?
Rajeshri, I was just, I had disconnected. So can you just repeat the question? I'm so sorry about it.
No worries. So basically, I was trying to say that you have so much of um, I know we've been working together on things as well, and that you're so passionate about helping women take care of pain, and this is something which you really are working on when times where people we just generally visit a orthopedic surgeon, get onto some medication, and then that's where it is. I'm sorry, I've been having some challenge with my video, but I think does this does Womenopause sort of resonate with you through while you're working on helping women manage pain, at the same time practices an anesthetist where there are emergencies, and you've all through your life dealt with those, and on the other side sort of balancing personal responsibilities, challenges, while we know it's you have had a great journey. So if you could share some inputs with us and with the women around.
Thank you, Rajashri, for having me here. It's a great platform. All of us, I'm wishing all of you and me as well a happy Women's Day. So, Womenopause, I believe we as a woman cannot have a pause in our life, whatever it is, a personal life, a professional life. There is no pause for us. We just keep on shifting our roles. And around a menopausal age, if you ask me, pain, of course, it's a very critical period where each and every one of us has a problem about a chronicity of a pain or a pain in the issues. And to avoid that, maintaining a very healthy lifestyle, healthy nutrition, doing meditation, yoga, and exercises is most important. I would say having a good ergonomics when all of us are working and many of us are surgeons. So when we are working during the surgeries, maintaining a good ergonomical posture, it's very important for us. Also, around menopause, having a good bone health, and that is all important for avoiding the pain. For this, all of us, the women, whenever we are doing any activities, we should maintain our postures well. We should keep our nutrition well. So that is around the menopausal age. And about my journey, it is always a challenge for all of us to go ahead. And my motto or my just the thing is we should go ahead and we should achieve whatever we have dreamt about. And I always had an inclination for a pain relief, for a pain clinic. And I'm happy that I could do something in that branch. So I hope I have answered your question.
Of course, and again, inputs for me, especially when you said that we just don't have any scope. We cannot pause. So, if we
We can.
understand that, so much can get easier. Um, and now, I want to go on to Dr. Prasanna Menon. Reason why she's at the end of the first round of questions is, she's the one who's doing something who can help us to not have a pause in lives. She when we get older, I think we probably taking care of our kids, taking care of our parents, taking care of our in-laws, and all of us come to the stage where we don't know what to do. How do we take care of our parents? And I know for sure, Dr. Menon, how much of compassion goes into it when you're doing it. I mean, it isn't something which commercially you would really want to do it, because there's just so much of responsibility when what you're doing with your palliative care project, and we're so happy that it's just growing and growing, and though slowly and steadily, but you're so well known in the Thane city. So if anyone really wants to go for a palliative care, it's always you. We all are exchanging your numbers. So Dr. Mrudula and Dr. Manjari both have been doing that with me as well. So I think it's just great to have you here, and what does Womenopause mean to you? Because I know you have a lot of thoughts around that, and expanding your mission of compassionate care, without hitting the pause button, because you're not only taking care of your own work and personal life, but you're now taking care of personal lives of others as well. So how do you manage this? And you share. I'm sort of getting goosebumps even asking that question to you. So really looking forward, and you're going to get all those hearts and reactions back while you're going to talk now.
So,
So
Rajeshri, thank you for having me on this platform. Happy Women's Day to all. All great speakers. I've been hearing them. It's so wonderful to exchange this. So much of motivation and inspiration from the seniors, from the juniors. Everybody's doing wonderful work. Okay. Now, as everybody said, there is absolutely no pause, Rajeshri. I resonate with that. And what happens is, see, outside the labor room, when we are delivering a woman, there are so many people out there, happily waiting. Some people are just friends and some family members, and some people are just not anybody. They're simply waiting to hear, क्या हुआ, लड़की हुआ, लड़का हुआ, healthy है. Everybody is happy. The nurses are happy, attendants are happy, everybody is happy. But when you look at the same small baby growing and becoming a senior citizen, we hardly have people around them. They need our help, they need our attention. And when you look at them, it's like their own children are not there with them. They are all away, they are abroad. Relatives, friends, some of them are there, some of them are not existing, they have lost them. So much of isolation. So I just felt we need to do something for them. Now, women is the center of the family, just like sun. She keeps on radiating, looking after her family, children, husband, parents, ailing parents, her own parents, her in laws. So much to do, so much to do. All women are working, they need to be doing their own self care also. So I was just thinking, what is that we can do little for these seniors, keep them comfortable? This is how we started with the assisted living. Then we realized that there are so many patients getting discharged from the ICU with multiple tubes. See, these days the life expectancy is increased, but the quality of life that has gone down with so much of lifestyle disorder. You guys are handling already so many lifestyle disorders, so much of awareness that we need to work at the preventive stage itself. People coming out with Rice tube, catheter, colostomy bag, how to manage at home. So that is where we started looking after these patients who require the nursing care. Then it came patients are on dialysis. There needs to be assistance to be taken them to the hospitals for dialysis, get them back. Challenges in end of life care. So there is a spectrum of palliative care that we realize right from assisted living to the end of life care, severe dementia, all these cases now we are handling. And when this one senior citizen we take care, the whole family is at ease. Children can study, women can concentrate on herself, the couples can go out for a vacation, they can keep their loved ones with us. This is how the palliative care came into existence, and I am simply loving it because it is full of blessings. It is simply awesome. I just love doing this. And anybody, whoever wants to come and visit my center, please come. It's fun.
Well, I think it's always a pleasure to hear this, and whenever and wherever we sort of can also be a support for you. Please do not hesitate to just, you're always a phone call away, all of us. And I think that's the whole idea also of bringing we healthcare providers together. So we also have, the options, and we know how we could support each other through our
All of you have been wonderful friends. All of you have been supporting this initiative. I'm really happy to connect with all of you today.
pleasure. So
So,
now I want.
Rajeshri, madam, can I take this opportunity and ask you a question that you have championed integrative nutrition, right? And nutraceutical science, which has empowered thousands to take charge of their health. So, what inspired you to conceptualize Womenopause, for which we are here today? And how can nutrition help women to sustain this momentum through hormonal transitions rather than, slowing them down?
So I would say uh, where this all started was, I think this was always boiling, the pot was boiling for years together, having gone through career and childhood was always easy because our like you mother was around, father was all of them were to support us. But once we went on to our own journeys and having been through different cycles, being through healthcare, being I make a lot of products, so through being an entrepreneurial journey, having lived abroad, having lived here, gone through corporate lifestyles and everything. I always felt that women face so many, especially our generation. We had no one to sort of tell us what to do in situations. We have been lucky that we have had Dr. Bhatkande, Dr. Mayanke to be around us, which is whom we would look at and try to do things. But we never had ready solutions. So we didn't know what to do in certain solutions. We had to design our own and move forward. And it was always, being an entrepreneur also, the journey hasn't been easy at all. A lot of times, I, it's not always like that when you're in gynecology and segments where there are women, but being an entrepreneur, it's a man's world. It has been a man's world because, look at it now, we have a lot of women entrepreneurs coming up, but it's not been easy. So I used to always think, and I think that's where all of this had started boiling slowly. But today we're seeing so much of lifestyle issues that practically 80-90% of diseases are all lifestyle and autoimmune, and that's what you all have been treating. So which is where I thought bringing an integration in. We used to earlier have a concept where we used to have our general practitioner. So probably bringing this back, and I think why women should probably do it is because we have that emotional intelligence quotient that we can really add on to when we are trying to integrate these things. And I think like my Dr. Maitri said, tolerance, patience, all these things we have more. We give more time to our patients, and we are more compassionate, empathetic, like Dr. Menon is. So I think that's where all this started building up, and where the name itself, menopause, menarche, everything starts with men. So I said, why don't we add women to it? Nothing against men, because our fathers and our brothers and our husbands, all of them have been so supportive, which is why we are here where we are. So but yeah, that's why this whole idea. And no pause is something which all quite a few of your friends know. I don't see a pause in life. I mean, we have to keep going on and on. And I think passion and purpose, these two words, keep driving us. So that's a little bit from me. And should I now take a? I know it's going to be difficult, a lot of questions, but I'm going to try to be as rapid as I can. And I will go with the senior ones first with Dr. Bhatkande, ma'am. I mean, I think the senior ones will probably finish one at a go, and then the rest, I think we all can juggle between questions. We have Dr. Bhatkande, madam. Can you please spotlight her? Um, Ma'am, these are questions which are just going to be like one word or, one challenge kind of. So, one word that, you would define women's resilience with.
If it is a situational problem, then adaptability. And if it is a personal, emotional thing, then it's fortitude. One word for situational problems where you have to show resilience, adaptability. And one, if it is personal, emotional, mental, whatever, then fortitude.
So, going back to, I'm sorry, I'm all that not sorry, but I'm able to relate this with Dr. Rujuta. But Dr. Rujuta, look at it. This is Dr. Bhatkande, ma'am, and 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 see how clear she is when it comes to words and how she's able to verbalize them. Because we all keep saying that Gen Z verbalizes things better, but Look at her. I don't know, she's Gen A or whatever we call her, but that's why she's my inspiration. The next question, ma'am, is one challenge in your career that made you stronger as a woman leader in medicine. One challenge that you faced.
Uh, in my healthcare, I think one of the challenges, see, a doctor is very good at what he does in an environment that supports him or supports her. Let's talk her because it's Women's Day. But what happens when a doctor has to do something outside that supportive, environment? So I've had many experiences like this, but I'll give you one. On an airplane, uh, I was, quite, I would say, surprised to hear a statement. Is there any doctor on board? Okay, I was flying from Chennai to Mumbai and Air India, and suddenly the senior air hostess comes and says, "Is there any doctor on board?" So I said, "Of course, I am a doctor." So, and I was right at the end, stuck in a corner, and then I put up my hand saying, "I'm a doctor." So she said, "Ma'am, can you please come?" And I usually carry my stethoscope in my bag. So I promptly took out my stethoscope and I went. There was an elderly lady who had collapsed, sweating profusely. So I said, steady pulse. So I said, oh my goodness. Now either this is a heart attack or it is hypoglycemia. Heart attack, I wouldn't have been able to do much, but hypoglycemia I can definitely correct. So I told them, show me your first aid kit. The first aid kit actually had a ampule of 25% glucose. They had syringes, they had needles, but they said you can't use it. I said, what do you mean? They said you can't use it. I said, you tell the pilot to radio the nearest airport or whoever you want to, and take the permission. I'm a doctor and I can save this lady's life. You allow me to do it. They said, no, 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 it's against protocol. Why the heck? Why did they have it in the first aid kit? Okay. So then I had to go back. I had to do something. I said, okay, in that case, give me uh, powdered either glucose or sugar. And if you don't have powdered glucose or sugar, powder it and give it to me. And so I said, they said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to make a paste and I'm going to rub it into her gums. What would have been quickly done with the IV bolus, I had to now use an alternate method. I couldn't give her anything to drink because she would have choked. And just then, a young couple came up to me, young couple, and said, ma'am, can we help? We are dentists. I said, yes, come. Please wear gloves. And please, now by the time the paste had come, the powder had come, make a paste. And I said, just rub into her gums. And that lady who was semi-conscious, after all that about 10-20 grams of sugar being rubbed into her gums, she came out of that. So see, just being a doctor is not enough. You have to at that moment adapt, That's why I said adaptability is situational based, you know. And yeah, and that patients life was saved. Um, but of course, I did one thing. I wrote a complaint to Air India. I said, you cannot have a first aid kit containing the correct, tools and then not allow a doctor to use it.
Yes.
Challenge.
I also see integration in this. You used your knowledge of gastroenterology, internal medicine, and at the same time, administrative skills at the same time. And also, dentists came to help you. So I think, awesome experience that you shared with us, ma'am. I think with that, I will go jump on a couple of questions for Dr. Manke, ma'am. I know she has had a long day and she's still with us, but I think, like one word I asked ma'am for describing her resilience. One word you would describe woman's grit. If you had to describe woman's grit, what could be that one word you could think of?
Persistence.
Great. So I again, the challenge, more than challenge, one moment in your career which really tested your strength the most.
Yeah. There was a urgent call for first heart transplant at Kokeraben Hospital. The day was the night before my daughter's wedding. And I went directly from hospital in the morning to get ready for the wedding. So that was an incident where you have to drop everything and go to the work and go back to whatever you were required to do and enjoy at the same time.
So, ma'am, what were the emotions that really played in your mind and heart at that point in time? Because this
I
is
was very
really,
excited because that was the first heart transplant. And my bag was ready to go to the wedding place. But then I went to the hospital. And I was very happy to go back and very proud that I have finished doing your first heart transplant when I attended the daughter's wedding. It was great.
so also people these days, I mean, there is more awareness now, but even today people fear anesthesia, So is there any misconception about anesthesia, which you're commonly seen and, which people should not have?
Yeah, actually, the anesthesiologist makes patient unconscious with an injection. If he, if the people think they don't know what anesthesia is, they think that the anesthetist gives an injection, patient sleeps, and they can then sit in the surgeon's room or outside and come back when the surgery is over to start picking up the patient. That is not the case.
Yes.
It is
Right.
totally misunderstood. We have to be there with the patient every minute till the patient is awake after surgery.
Well, for me, I think the anesthetist is a very special role because when my daughter was born, the first person I saw was the anesthetist because and she got my daughter in her hands. So
Yes.
they're so special and they make you feel so comfortable.
Mhm.
In addition to the what the surgeons are doing. So I think
Yeah.
a huge role that they play in our lives. And also then, I'll go back to Dr. Bharkande madam and, if the gut could speak, what would it complain about in today's lifestyle?
My favorite.
Mahesh,
Okay.
can you sort of spotlight everyone so, it'll be easier for
So if the gut could speak, this is definitely what the gut is going to say. Too much of high salt, high sugar, high fat food, and not enough of water and fiber. This is what the gut is going to say.
Yes, completely agree. I mean, we all cannot deny
Too
that. And
much
then,
junk,
yeah.
no water, no fiber.
And then, these days, I mean, of course, women keep having challenges of bloating and acidity because we experience that when we have hormonal changes. I won't even call them imbalances. So, what is that one tip you could give women for, managing the bloating and acidity?
Acidity, bloating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because normally we are
See,
told to, go on to an antacid, and, is that the right?
no, 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 no. Rajeshri, I know you're in the uh, pharma nutraceutical sector, but if you were to come to my clinic, I don't have a clinic, but at Shushusha in the OPD, you will not find any MRs sitting there because I'm very, very stingy about giving medicine. Okay. So my advice to people is have frequent small meals. The portion does matter. Have frequent small meals. no chilies, avoid caffeine or reduce caffeine, avoid chilies, and don't, definitely do not snack midnight. Midnight snacking, binge eating, this is just not to be done. And of course, when you do tell them about the, I would say, diet or food that they should or should not take, simple things is one thing. And one thing that I insist in the hospital, whether the patient is bedridden, ever, the patient has to eat upright and should remain upright for some time after the patient has eaten. That's very important. And of course, stress, reduce stress, your acidity will disappear. Your bloating and your IBS and all the rest of it will be less.
So, and the similar question to Dr. Manke then is one stress management habit every woman doctor or professional should practice.
Actually, it is better to keep your mind ready for any eventuality all the time as an anesthetist. So you don't get stressed when some complication actually happens and you can act correctly. That doesn't mean that you have to be stressed being ready. What you have to do is that something can happen anytime and you cannot relax when you have given anesthesia. But that doesn't mean you have to be stressed about it. You have to just be ready for any eventuality so that you don't get stressed when there is a complication and you can act correctly.
Awesome. My next group of questions then would now go to Dr. I hope Dr. Neha is here. Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Neha, and I would like to have also Dr. Maithili. So I think I can do the rapid fire with both of them. So Dr. Neha, one word according to you that defines womanhood.
Like I said before, it is adaptability. I think women have incapable, great power of adaptability.
Yes.
You just don't realize that. Yeah.
And yeah, I know I am the nutritionist here, but do you think could you sort of uh, tell us what one nutrient you think is crucial for women, either over 40 or through their life cycle? One of the nutrients you think is most important.
More so above 40, I think it is calcium and vitamin D. Osteoporosis is most eminent condition where the bones are going to become weak and fragile. And so adequate calcium intake is very important along with vitamin D, which will help to increase absorption of calcium to at least, slow down the process of osteoporosis. So that is one thing which is most important.
And one myth, again, what women have about reproductive health.
About the
About reproductive health, one myth that women
myths. So,
most common.
around again, in the perimenopausal period, many women feel that they cannot get pregnant above 40. So so they do not use contraception at all. So that is an absolute myth.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, we are seeing so many patients, in early 40s who are getting pregnant naturally. So
awesome. Well, that's good to know, I think. And can we also try and spotlight Dr. Maithili, because that way I can, couple of questions for her as well. So my question for Dr. Maithili is your message to, one word that defines hormonal balance. If we can spotlight her, I think should we wait for
One word which defines hormonal balance is the discipline. Madam just told, eat as much as your requirement is, don't overeat, and stay in a very positive frame of mind. I think that should take care of hormonal balance.
Sure. And one myth that you see, about menopause that women carry today.
Yeah.
There are many actually, but one
But
is good.
most of them, I will just want to highlight sexual health here because it's the least talked about. So most of the ladies think now I'm perimenopausal, sexual health is gone. It's not like that. I think it's our duty to emphasize that exercising and good healthy sex life are both keywords to produce dopamine, and dopamine is enough to motor the that anxiousness, depression, that is taken care of. Good workout, good exercise, sex. I think we should emphasize this for all the perimenopausal women.
And then one lifestyle factor that you think worsens PCOS or hormonal disorders?
Gadget. It's
Okay.
every everything about the gadget. I always tell my patients it's a ब्रह्मास्त्र. जिसको उसका पावर झेलने आया उसका लाइफ बन गया. And if you
Absolutely
know,
right.
and
Absolutely
then
right.
it can just put you down
Yes.
otherwise.
You said it. I mean, absolutely right. And then you did mention about screening earlier. So one health screening that you would want women to prioritize.
um, it will still remain mammography, because it's very less women screen even in today's world, and we know we can prevent this now. It's high time.
So, and to Dr. Neha, the question is again your tip for working mothers, because you are one. So, working mothers, how do they maintain their health? Do you have any secret of yours that you could share? I can definitely say about both beauty and fitness. What do you do? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry. So all women have to understand that taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. So it is very important that they take care of their own health, and just the four things, diet, exercise, sleep, and stress. We have to work on these things. Diet, I know you are there to help majority of the women. So, but exercise every day is a must. On days when it's not possible, it's okay. But otherwise, it's very important to get back on track, to get back on schedule. Some days you will miss, there will be vacations, there will be days when you're not well, there will be breaks. But it's important to get back on track on the other days. That is most important. So, some form of exercise, good sleep, a good quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep, and at the proper time, not using gadgets, not watching gadgets till 2 a.m. and then sleeping till 10 a.m. That is not the right form of sleep. Sleeping on time, waking up on time, and stress management, whatever works, some yoga, meditation, hobby class, meeting friends, anything that works. It depends from person to person. So I think that these four things are most important.
Great, awesome. Uh, I will go on to now Dr. Manjiri and Dr. Mrudula Bhave. And my rapid fires for them are one for Dr. Mrudula, one word that defines women's vision, because vision in the sense of vision and the forward looking vision. What do you think is the one word that
Foresight.
defines?
Foresight. I think women are born with a gut feeling to, predict what is going to happen. So in terms of vision, using it as a metaphor, foresight.
Yes, absolutely a metaphor, like you pointed out. And one challenge of you faced, and which sort of made you stronger while you were building your own venture as the CalPal venture.
Multiple, in fact, the greatest challenge I faced was time management in terms of managing your medical profession along with another business that you're doing. The best thing that you could do is allot a dedicated time span to both the entities. And yet there is a challenge, like I'm in the middle of my OPD, almost getting done, and then I start getting calls from the kitchen. This is not yet come, ये indent नहीं आया है, अभी टमाटर नहीं आया है. And then by the time I'm in the kitchen and almost done with that, I start getting calls from the clinic saying उद्याची लेन्स नाही आली आणि autoclave चालत नाही आहे. So it's a juggle between both the worlds. Like you have to put your surgeon cap and then take that off and then put on the chef's cap. Not that do the cooking. We have staff, we have nutritionists, we have a team of people who are doing that. But then delegation, yes, delegate well. That's what I would say. Tell everybody who is managing multiple roles. In fact, not necessary that you are doing another business. Even as a woman in a single profession, as medical practitioners or otherwise, we have so many different roles to play. We cook, we clean, we drive, we drop the children to school, we take their homework, we are a teacher, we are a mother, we are a daughter-in-law, we play so many roles.
Yes.
So I think delegation is something that we all need to learn.
And then, as a eye surgeon, one eye health myth and one eye care habit, if you could
Eye
speak.
care myth is just because I'm seeing well does not mean that all is well with my eyes, because there are many silent diseases like glaucoma, which will steal away your vision without you even having the slightest idea that your vision is being dropped, because it is the peripheral vision that is being affected. And we are, in fact, celebrating the Glaucoma Awareness Week. So I would take this opportunity to all the women who are listening to this to screen themselves and their family members, especially if you're above 40, especially if there is a family history of glaucoma, especially if you're a myope, to go and screen yourselves for glaucoma. So regular eye checkups, just like it should be a part of any other health checkup, whether you're doing your bone densitometry or whether you're doing a mammography or whether you're doing your diet analysis. Eye checkup should be a part of your routine. And for the other question that you mentioned for the digital part, one is minimize, and second is follow the 20-20-20 rule. That is 20 minutes of work, digital work, followed by a 20 seconds break and blinking for a couple of times.
So, and you know, so this really encompasses everything. Again, I would say a metaphor, both care and myth really for the eyes, and we use them so much, like just as ma'am said, hydrating. Similarly with our eyes, we never realize that you have to hydrate them as well. So I think
Absolutely.
so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, Over to Dr. Manjari Ranade now. I think one word that defines, of course, pain relief, because that is something which she's so much passionate about, and she recognizes it. And having interacted with her and having seen the way you practice, Dr. Manjari, I think how would you, one word for pain relief, how would you describe?
Scientifically, scientifically, if I say it is analgesia, and other word which I will say it's pain relief is sukoon. So it's a sukoon in life. So patient who is having chronic pain, getting relief from that is really a sukoon.
Yes.
So that would be my
Yeah. So essentially, suffering should not be
should not be
should
there.
not be the case, even if you're dealing with so much. And the one challenge that strengthened you professionally and personally.
I would say when I started my pain practice, lack of formal recognition of pain medicine that exists and pain physician exist. Still now it is very less. And the second challenge, which I always had and I always face, is management of chronic pain in cancer patients. It's really challenging because of so much, and Dr. Menon would agree with it. So having a complete palliative care with the pain relief for them in their, and then the myth with them is you should go have a pain relief only in the last stages. But I feel that a palliative care and a chronic pain relief should be since the beginning of the disease recognition, that they should have a right to access that. So these two things really made me professionally.
And then
They were
one
the
lifestyle habit to prevent chronic pain, because this isn't like easy question actually, because chronic pain has become so common these days, and constantly feeling tired, in pain is so common. So any lifestyle habit you think you can
so
actually
again
help?
again two things: ergonomics, maintaining ergonomics, and a good nutrition and a stress-free life. So these three things, if you maintain, you are bound to prevent your chronic pain to a certain extent.
Yes, ergonomics is something which we all need to focus on.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
luckily, there is good amount of awareness, but more is needed, of course. Moving on to Dr. Prasanna Menon now. Ma'am, here again, in your case, of course, compassion is something which I think is highlight of what you are doing. So, one word that could define compassion.
It's Mamta. Okay. There needs to be that everything that we are doing, it is mine, my parents, my child. That mamata has to come up, especially when you're handling those who can't express what they are going through. A child, a newborn, cannot express. Same is the case with the seniors. Many a times they cannot express themselves. So many different types of pain. Manjari is also taking care of so much of pain. There are mental pain, the emotional pain. So I think we need to be like, if I have to take care of these seniors, I need to be their mother, where there is an unconditional love where we need to give. So that comes as a package in my way of taking care of the patients.
And then again, one life lesson patients have taught you, about resilience, how seeing, managing these patients, has resilience come into you more? I mean, what would be the life lesson you've learned from them?
True. We all need to be good actors. We need to adapt.
Yeah, yeah.
There is no doubt about this. Like, I mean, a simple one case I will explain. Recently, I was in such a dilemma situation. There's a young lady who is going to get married, okay, in the month of February 20. Exactly a month before, the family connects with me and says that, look, my father is unable to drink a drop of water, unable to eat. So he's a case of cancer, metastasis, and of course, handling this end of life care. The request from the family is keep him alive. I'm getting married, doctor. Can you do this? I I could not say yes, I could not say no. I just said, let me see what we can do. See, here I'm a good actor because I know I don't know what to do. So the first thing that I did was evaluate the case and said, look, okay, we understand there is a problem. This person cannot swallow. Let's put a peg tube because the rice tube is not going. So we put a feeding tube and said, at least let us hydrate and give him some pain relief in whatever way we can and some nutrition. See, here we are talking about nutrition, hydration, and pain management. All that we did. Little did I know that what I am handling and how long can I hold on to the food. But God is with us. See, when we want to do something, a lot of forces are with us. So here, as God would have it, till the day of our wedding, we could manage. There were a few last days that we had to keep in ICU under observation because, yes, it is our wish to keep him alive. Because I didn't want any of the rituals to be cancelled for that only daughter. And exactly as how God would wish, the day she got married, early morning, yes, he has said the farewell to all of us, but that's a dilemma situation. How do I break this news to the family? Again, I'm a good actress. I kept the body in the mortuary, and I know this ritual is mostly going to get over by afternoon. And that is where I declare to the family, look, we have lost him. He has already blessed the newlywed couple. And I know the truth that, yes, when we put the patient on ventilator, the day when we put it, sometimes in some of the cases, we know that we have lost it at that moment itself. We have just kept him breathing because we want all the rituals to go on. Here, the challenge is the funeral also has to be taken care of. The marriage has to be taken care of. This made me think how many more acting roles I have to do because our emotions we have to keep under control. We need to be a good juggler, a good actress, no matter whatever is the problem in life. So these are certain things that we handle on a day-to-day basis when we are handling particularly the end of life care.
Well, I think how much ever more we could say, it's going to be less for what you're doing, Dr. Menon, for the patients. And yet, so the dilemma question for you, what do you think? I mean, what matters more in healing? Is it the medicine or the compassion?
I think Rajeshri, everybody has mentioned it's a compassion for sure, 100%.
So I think I will. Uh, I mean, I can't say more about what all that you've said. Nothing to comment on it, but I'll now go on to our youngest participant, and I guess Dr. Rajita, rapid fire for you is your message to the young women doctors who are, pursuing this ambitious career, because, you've actually aims trained, and it's not something, we know very few actually even get in, and to specialize being there. What's your message? Because today, essentially with the Gen Z, like we've all said, the gadgets, and there are so many things that are there that have come up. So, how do they stay motivated to do something what you've done?
So I think we shouldn't fit into somebody's expectations. What we wish to do, we should go for that, and never give up. Never give up, even when it feels that अब कुछ नहीं हुआ है, कुछ नहीं हो सकता, time has passed, and it's too late. It's ऐसा नहीं है. If you just keep going and reach the end of the race, you may realize that you were the first one to complete it.
Does anyone else want to comment on this? Because I know Dr. Maithili is going through the phase right now. So, I think if anyone wanted to comment on the same question, otherwise I can go ahead with the next question, which is one misconception about breast cancer screening.
Common misconception of breast lump: if it's not painful, then they don't show it. But actually, it's the painless lump that is the one which you have to, be careful with.
Sure. And one early warning sign women must never ignore.
So, a new lump that is formed in the breast or in the axilla, both, either. So, it shouldn't be ignored.
And then one lifestyle factor that increases cancer risk today.
Sedentary lifestyle, sitting all the time. We are sitting in the car, we are sitting in the office, sitting in the OPD, sitting at home, ghar aake, we sit in front of the TV. So this lifestyle has to change.
So I think that brings us to an end of the rapid fire, but couple of questions I have for all the panelists. I mean, anyone could actually take it. Maybe a couple of you can respond. One, like you said right now, we're talking about increase in cancer risk. So is there really escalation in the number of cancer patients that we have, or rather more number of women having, are they getting cancer? Has the number increased?
Yes, definitely. A decade back, there was 25:1 ratio for breast cancer. Now it's 8:1. Out of 8 women, 1 will get cancer.
So that really shows escalation. Any other gynecological? So I know there are more gynecological issues as well. Cervical cancers are on rise. So essentially, that's an issue. The other thing, as we are also touching upon the topic of menopause, I think, could we have all the speakers highlighted now? Could we see all of them together? So I think if you can spotlight everyone, I think the question really is, earlier days, we never saw our women, our mothers complaining about menopause, and, if going through so many different symptoms of menopause. Were they not there, or are we seeing more rise in those symptoms because of the lifestyle, the nutrition that is getting hampered, the air quality, all these things, are they actually adding up to the issues that we are facing?
I think we are giving too much importance to menopause. Like, we have to take it in its stride, and we shouldn't stop doing anything that we have been doing and being positive.
So glad, ma'am, that you've
Also, I
given us
feel
that.
in the era that our parents lived in, the number of children, the marriage age was earlier, and by the time the woman would hit her menopause, she would have her eldest daughter probably doing almost all the household chores, and the younger daughters looking after the younger children, the siblings. In today's case, the overall age for marriage has gone up. And that's why by the time the woman is hitting
Yes.
a menopause, she's still an active member who's looking after the family, doing all the chores all by herself. And I think that is somewhere taking its toll on the overall health, overall metabolic health, overall rise in the cancers, the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, and the gadget toxicity that we all are exposed to.
To absolutely put all the factors together. I mean, I think all that is definitely escalating it. And like ma'am said, that we have to take it in our stride and, try to keep things aside and, keep going. And I think that is what will keep us progressing. If any of the gynecologists wanted to add to the fact that, should then we sort of look at early marriages and having children early in age, is that a better advice?
Yeah, so Rajeshri, whenever I take up counseling, I keep telling the youngsters, like one is careers and career paths and progress, like all of us spoke today. Irrespective of our age, we can keep doing that. What is the big point in postponing the marriage and the children? Because if you are only getting married around 30, 35, having children at 40, attending the PTAs at 40, it is stressful. You cannot handle a toddler at the age 40. Believe me. I mean, it is difficult because we also require the energy to handle the toddler. Then comes the behavioral issues. So I would say the younger generation, of course, they are the privileged one. We were like, starting from the scratch. But
Yes.
if you find a good life partner, you think that this is what you want, I think you should go ahead with it. You should not wait saying that, look, I should get a good job, I should get a good house, I should get a car. Those kind of wants will remain. Desires will always remain. Even today, I may want something. At the age of 55, I want something. But that doesn't mean I should get married after I get that particular item. It is not like that. The right time, right things needs to be done. Otherwise, you're getting it overwhelmed. You will get overwhelmed with what is there on your plate. We won't be able to juggle it.
Right. So such a enriching session that we have had today. I think I know a lot of people watching it. This is of course going to be made viral later as well. Are going to learn so much from all your insights that you've shared. I am though hoping that all of you had enough amount of fun as well. Doing this session here today. And I think we will end the session by just having some concluding remarks from you. I mean, also because I want to emphasize on this the initiative of Womenopause with a lot of seriousness, with no commercial interests behind it, but there is a lot of noise that has been created around this around menopause presently. But I just don't want to stick around with menopause as such, but taking it through all the life cycles of womanhood, how this initiative could help women to not pause and do their best and be successful. No comparisons, but do your best. So if we could start with Dr. Bhatkande madam, and again, if ma'am, again, you are the one who's actually going to verbalize it the best. If you could put in maybe a sentence what menopause means for you, and if there are any concluding remarks from you.
See, I think, Rajeshri, women should just continue living a steady, stress free, satisfied life, both in their work environment and in their personal. I mean, you need to work towards that, but be satisfied with what you're doing. If you're satisfied, then half your problems get solved. And you don't really then start thinking, that this is wrong and that is wrong and the rest of it. So just continue living in a steady, stress free, satisfied life. And we can. I can tell you, with all my years behind me, that you can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, it does not impact your life. It need not. is just something that you will go through and learn to cope with it. No? Coping is something that we all have to learn.
Think
Thank you.
that helps all of us really understand and believe that we can do it if you're saying so, I guess. And Dr. Manke, I think you also have to uh, maybe verbalize the menopause in a sentence if you can, and do share any concluding remarks from your end as well.
Get interested in new activities with women of your age. We have started a program directed by Dr. Anand Nadkarni's team, Sapta Sopan.
Yes.
Senior ladies doing different activities like dance, music, origami, and something like that. And it will enjoy your life and be very active. Just because you are approaching or having menopause doesn't mean everything is ended, and you have a lot of interesting things to do in life.
Yes. So in this era of actually too much of us being too social, yet we are not as social as in the right way that we need to be. Being social on the social media through the gadgets is not enough. It's really being with each other and enjoying socially. Absolutely, bang on, ma'am. I mean, that is something which is so important today. And then moving on to Dr. Mridula, what does this word really, does how does it resonate with you, womenopause, and any
Me,
past?
Womenopause is not a full stop. It is maybe a comma to reassess and to realign our energies and move on again with maybe renewed energy, with newer ideas, and with a lot more wisdom. And to conclude, I would say that don't stop doing what you are doing, because um, it is your cognitive, ability that will start deteriorating the moment we take a setback, the moment we take a pause. That will decrease our confidence. And over a period of time, women will start doubting themselves for not for having failed, but for not having tried what they could have tried, that they could have done. And hence continue exercising no matter uh, how much time you have in the day. If you have an hour, go to the gym, go for a walk. If you have 40 minutes, go for a swim. If you have half an hour, you walk inside the house. If you have 15 minutes, you skip around. If you have 10 minutes, do the stairs, walk from your floor to the next, and then come back again. Do it a multiple number of times, but do something, because that is something that is going to prevent the physical damage and keep you in a better shape. If you're in a better shape in health, your mind is going to be alert.
Great. And I mean, all that you said right now is clearly telling me, that's the outcome of today's program. You said wisdom, you said energy, you said renewal of energy. So many positive words. Thanks for saying all of those, because I'm taking those back home myself. So, makes me feel more energized.
Great.
The next is, of course, Dr. Manjiri Ranade. Again, what menopause means to you, and what are your last thoughts you would leave us with in this program?
Definitely, menopause is no pause, as all of us are saying that. I think during the perimenopausal period, we understand ourselves, upgrade ourselves to, as Dr. Mridula said, reconcile with the energy, and uplift ourselves with the meditation and exercises. As we all know, sitting is new smoking, so we should continue sitting in a one position is bad for all of us.
Yes.
And so changing the position, maintaining ergonomics and nutrition is the most important thing, and stress-free life. So that's the happy life during around the menopause. And of course, menopause we should consider as a normal thing. just pay attention to the small things, as I said, that upgrade yourself with the understanding and the knowledge. And we should go ahead, never stop.
I must say, Rajeshri, thank you very much for holding this entire program to meet so many nice ladies and their thoughts. It was very encouraging and interesting. Thank you.
So
Definitely.
much, ma'am. When it coming from you, it means so much. You've seen so much in life. We are probably not even. I don't know if you're going to even achieve 10% of it, but it's such a pleasure to have you here with us and encouraging us. It means so much to us, and I think with that I'll actually go on to Dr. Maithili Gadgil for input her again, what does Womenopause mean to her and what are her last tips that she could give us?
I think everybody's very nicely summarized it. I'll just say stay hungry, stay foolish, and learn something new every 6 months because that will keep us, that fun factor going in life. And all of us have to be technology savvy because otherwise we'll be very irrelevant in coming days because we have to deal with alphas and betas. So let's be technology friendly as well. We are the last people where, we are that sandwich generation between the beautiful golden past and a very bright future. So we are the bridge.
So
That's
the
all.
Brahmastra is also meant for women and
Yeah.
they should use it wisely.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Dr. Rujita, what would you say? Womenopause means what to you? I mean,
I think no stage of our life should put our dreams on hold, and we're passing through a lot of phases, right? So maybe slow down, but don't stop. That's what I would like to say. And I would also like to, ask you a few questions before we,
okay,
reach the ending.
yes.
So as a nutritionist, can you tell us one nutrition mistake that women make during hormonal transitions?
I would say the nutritional mistake they make is they diet. They should stop dieting and instead they should start using nutrition. Nutrition is energy. The moment you start dieting, you lose energy. And the moment you lose energy, then, it's a cascade. So start using the right foods, and that's the best way to go ahead.
And one nutraceutical which every woman should know about.
Several of them, but I've always experienced this is I know every vegetarian will have a problem with it, but we all eat a capsule and it's made out of non-vegetarian gelatin. So eating a fish oil, I think has very, very positive effects on us. There are two nutraceuticals I would specify. One is fish oil because it takes care of your dyslipidemias. It gives you good fats. It takes care of inflammation. It takes care of heart health. It helps you through all those hormonal imbalances. Whenever we have inflammation, it takes care of it. The other thing, which is again related to nutrition per se, is I always advocate enzymes, and I'm very passionate about it because these days what you eat is not under your control, but the uptake has to improve. And if you're not able, if your pancreas is not able to, secrete enough, and I think Dr. Bhatkande will agree with me, if there's insufficiency, then the uptake suffers. And most menopausal women also you will see, or even girls with having PCOS, they're eating junk food. And first mistake they make is they're eating junk food, and then they're not able to digest it well. So then that's where the inflammation cascade starts. So, digesting the food well and taking enzyme supplementation. So these are the things. And enzyme supplementation, not taking too much of protein or anything, simple. So, if we can do these two things, I think that's my suggestion.
That's good news. I'm having fish for dinner today.
Yes.
So,
Good for you.
gut health or hormone health, which comes first?
I would say gut health. And I know Bhatkande madam is going to love me for this. But gut health, because if uh, finally hormones are made up of what? I mean, you need amino acids to manufacture them. If you don't eat well, the hormones are going to suffer. So, hormones suffer because of a lot of other things like stress and whatever you're going through. But if you eat well and you keep your gut health well, hormones are going to be more balanced compared to not eating, keeping your gut well.
And what would you say is the most powerful food for metabolic health?
For metabolic health, the most powerful food, um, I would I would myself eat a lot of fruits. I know diabetologists will have different opinions, but I still think eating fruits twice a day is a very good idea, because we get a lot of antioxidants, and like ma'am said earlier, fiber, hydration, everything happens from that one food, and it takes care of micronutrients. So eating fruits is actually the best thing to do for women, and which they don't do. I mean, 2 days ago I did a workshop and I asked how many, but luckily, like you all were saying, awareness is there. So women at least eat fruit once a day, maybe one fruit, but not more than that. So eating 2 or 3 fruits in a day twice is actually a much better idea. Yep.
And what mindset will help women leaders to stay unstoppable through life transitions, these transitions of life?
Um, this is a very difficult but easy question that I think precisely the fact that like everyone has said, adaptability, persistence, what ma'am has been saying, but the mindset, believing in yourself that you will and you can do it, and you have to keep going on, even if things are not happening, you have to just keep at it and just have that grit and keep at it, and things come around. It takes time, but you have to. That's the kind of mindset I think today's girls, I feel at times they sort of give up quickly. They shouldn't. They should believe in themselves and just keep going. I think that has helped me through my entrepreneurial journey. It's not been easy, but things come around. It takes time, so you have to keep doing it. uh, yeah, and I think I'll go on to last but not the least, my partner, Dr. Neha. I keep calling her my partner, but I sometimes think that we twin with each other. Also, I hope she's around. Dr. Neha, are you around? Uh, I would want you to conclude the meeting. Neha, are you around? I guess she's on mute. Dr. Neha? Well, I think then in that case, I think we've come to sort of the end of today's program. And I think, has she come? Has Neha come? Okay, but I'll quickly wrap up, and meanwhile, if she comes, fine. But I think I would say I would start with Dr. Bhatkande ma'am, who was really pioneered gastroenterology and medical management, and has been ex-dean of Sushrusha Hospital. Really left us with great thoughts, mainly adaptability and fortitude, which we should embrace. Dr. Manke madam and both Bhatkande madam can really be mentors for us through our journeys. And as Manke madam said, that you have to take things in our stride, and try and be remember that we're social beings. So always try to stay social. We're taking these thoughts back with us. Dr. Mrudula, of course, has energized me completely. So I think renewal and doing non-stop stuff is what I'm taking back from her, where she also said that medicine is not a destination, and nothing is for her destination. So we keep going with having a good foresight. Is something she did say. And Dr. Manjiri is doing such noble work again, I would say. She says no pause, of course, upgrade, meditate, and sukoon is what she said. Getting the sukoon is very much in our hands, and we could take more help from her. Dr. Maithili, of course, like you rightly said, use the Brahmastra rightly, and one very beautiful idea you've left us with is gift health checks and tag along. I think we all should be doing that. Dr. Rujita, I think you've told us, being so young, you still say that, slow down, but don't stop, and just keep going, and you're our torch bearer, so we have to keep going, and with immense gratitude, Dr. Menon, I think your work really really needs to be supported, and as much that we can advertise what you're doing is so much of compassion, which we all sort of need, and you taking care of newborns, and you're also taking care of the next newborns who are probably on their onward journey. It's such a noble cause, and
So, Rajashri,
wish
I
you a
will add here. See, when we all look forward to have a newborn baby, we should also help a life to exit the planet well. The same life comes back to us. This is full circle, dear. This is
yes,
what I'm trying to do.
yes.
See, we are all blessed as medical professionals, healers. And today, like you have conducted such a wonderful session, so many good thoughts and positive thoughts. It's really, thank you so much, Rajashri.
Yes, and on that thought, we should really end this, because that and believe that keeping on doing good, keeping on doing social good is so very important, and that's very very important aspect of Womenopause. And I'll on behalf of Neha also, I'll sort of conclude, because yeah, she's I would have loved to her to end it, but this is where I think this is what Womenopause really is about, and this is a beginning. And I think we have to keep continuing doing things in our way. Any suggestions that are there from your end, or any initiatives that you all are doing, I mean, I will be very happy to support in person, if not anything that we can do online, and reach it to different frontiers, because True Wealth Health TV is now going to be more active in actually taking we did a brilliant job through COVID, but now we are doing more focused work, so that the society at large benefits out of all that we medical practitioners and healthcare professionals are doing. So on that thought, uh, can I close today's meeting, unless anyone wants to say anything?
So, Rajashri, the women, if we can educate more and more women, the awareness to the women is capable of transmitting it to the entire family. So, let's get more women folk, wherein we can create the awareness of anything and everything, whether it is talking about PCOS, menopause, cancer, obesity, because they are the ones who cook in the kitchen. So let us get more women folk into this and give them the significance, the importance, how important you are. Because nobody else has got the time to hear. We have to get these women as listening ears. That is a very good way of spreading the awareness on any topic.
Can I request on that note, could I request all of you to just wait out for another 2-3 minutes till we go offline? I mean, I would just take quick thoughts from you I
Sure.
won't take too long from you.
I'm
But
in.
on that thought, I think, how do we take things forward? And you're absolutely right. Adding more and more women to this is really a revolution, and this is something which we are doing for ourselves. How could we take it forward? So on that thought, the revolutionary thought, I think I'll end the live session for today, and we will please hang in, speakers. Please stay online for a few more minutes. Thank you so much, and I would like to thank our True Wealth and RSG Nutrition backend teams, because I think they keep doing a brilliant job of trying to make flyers and think things together, put technology in place, and that makes it very easy to even conduct these kind of programs. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. all the audience. Without you, I think the program can never be a success. So thank you for being patient and being with us.
So getting together for some cause, say 5 days in a week of similar, like from different professionals, like ladies from different professions get together online like this to discuss something or read a book one page by. I have started this from COVID, that my senior people in my family, ladies, we have started a reading session. So we have by now, like starting from Dasbog, we have read different topic books and we are enjoying it.
Rajeshri,
Yes.
I would like to add, as ma'am said,